First we get bodied by illness. Now we get bodied by old school RPGs. That is a correct statement for sure. Yes. Oh, it's blurry again. Yay! He doesn't want to focus because of the red fucking pink light. You know what? I'll take it because it's a sign that we've come further than having a. I think I talked about this before, but yeah, the previous setup was where the camera is here. This is sort of where the TV is, and yeah, we had a phone mounted on like a windshield phone mount and plugged into the computer, and that's why if you go back far enough and you watch some of the old streams, sometimes the camera would just fall. And then I wouldn't be able to reconnect to OBS to the camera, so we'd have to switch to no camera, which is fine. Because I also don't want to look at my face, so that's kind of how it has to be sometimes. But now we have a cool hat. Now we got pink lights. The background is objectively more obnoxious than it could ever be, but you know, it is what it is. So, I'm still sort of sick, but not in like my voice will work better way, so things will be a little bit more coherent in terms of audiability. Now that being said, my brain, which is already very low function, is also going to be still in that like super low function. I should get a wizard hat for this. You're right. That's something I should probably consider for any sort of future boomer RPG experiences. But I don't think ahead. This is why I got to rely on my 1 to 2 stream viewers to decide things for me, to make things more entertaining for them, because that's how I'm what's the word for that? It's audience paralyzed is what I've been told. Not that I have much of an audience, but you know, that's big streamer problems, not nothing streamer. Not I do this for the love of the game. Streamers. Yes, getting one guide for my fashion choices. That is correct. You're getting bodied over here. So, we're playing Wizardry. Like the description says, like the name of the fucking video says, misleading thumbnail. We're not going that far back. We're not going back to Apple II era Wizardry, as fun as that would be. But we are going a little back because this game is, I think, 24 years old now, give or take. Fuck, man, I'm getting too old for this shit. This living stuff. But this game came out 2009. This is the first of the localized Wizardry games after the franchise sort of collapsed after Wizardry 8 and became a Japanese franchise. And now we have a bunch of spin-offs. We have this one. There's a fucking gacha game. Japan took it, ran with it. All that good shit, right? Like I mentioned last night, Wizardry sort of the old school kind of hardcore computer RPG franchise that was like concurrent with things like Might and Magic, I would say never really had that popularity. I would say with Might and Magic and its various spin-offs, and Ubisoft adopting it, the franchise, for better or for worse. I think after 3DO, I don't remember, I think 3DO is the company that ran it. They went under and died. But other than that, yeah, no shit. Wizardry was so originally a company called Surtech, made 7 games, and then somehow a bunch of Canadians got a hold of the. I think it was like a subdivision originally based in Ottawa, and when the company went under, they didn't go under because they were a separate company, but they were affiliated with the original Surtech, and they're responsible with like the second Jagged Alliance game, which is pretty Kino as well too. If you like kind of like Vietnamish themed tactical, tactical strategy games. I definitely remember playing those as a kid, and I remember enjoying those immensely. And that's a franchise I think deserves a reboot in some capacity. So it's a shame that it kind of nothing really. There was, I guess, newer Jagged Alliance games, but nothing really came from that franchise, which is unfortunate. But Wizardry survived. The last of the Surtech Wizardry games was Wizardry 8, and you could watch a very entertaining Seth Zintak video on Wizardry 8 if you haven't. So I do recommend that because that one is enjoyable, and it's fun just to kind of see this like clunky old, funded by the Canadian government style RPG that was sort of not really the death knell to the franchise, but it was like, I don't know, like even with the most recent Might and Magic game, like the Ubisoft one, that was kind of like, it was a little too goofy than it needed to be, and it kind of like killed the franchise. And this was a game, that like the best games were like glorified sci-fi, and this one was too, right? Because it was like you were like on an alien planet, and the bad guy some sort of like interdimensional overlord. But now we're back to kind of gritty. Yeah, it was really bad. You're right. And Wizardry 8 wasn't very great either, but at least it had charm, and that's something that the last Might and Magic game did not have. So we are at the main menu. So this is Labyrinth of Lost Souls, with this fucking FromSoft ass main menu. Hold on, let me fight my computer for a sec here. Let's see, the controller works. All right, it works. So first thing you do, if I remember correctly, because I haven't played it yet, at least on the PC, I think I played this back in like 2010. Got a used copy of it back when I worked at GameStop back in the day, the EB Games GameStop era of my life, for $20 or some shit, which is your average used game price back when things were affordable and our entertainment came in physical format. I did actually look at a list earlier today as far as just like racing class builds. So we have 5 races you can kind of pick different character models from. So there's humans, dwarves, elves, porkloo, which are hobbits essentially in this particular era of wizardry, and then gnomes. And then your dwarves and humans are more kind of like all-rounder, more physical leaning classes, while the other 3 kind of lean more into kind of more magic-based roles. And then the porkloo are the only ones that like are functionally good enough to be like a thief class, kind of like that. So I think there's 2 classes that sort of coincide with that. So this is going to be our self-insert. So we're going to rename them, assuming I didn't disconnect the controller. I did. Yeah, we're going to pick the dwarf with the axe. It's just going to happen. We're gonna have a 2 dwarf setup here, and then for now we're gonna stick with like an all good alignment, just for not really for consistency's sake, but alignment's always played a big part of fucking wizardry, which is sort of annoying. So human, and we're going all in on strength for the most part until we get our So bare minimum is that's 12. Yeah, do that. Luck up. Vitality and agility is good. So yeah, based on your initial stats also is what you're allowed to pick as far as classes. So because I don't have the right alignment of stats, I can only pick fighter, which is what we were going with anyway. So that's going to be our self-insert for now. There's an intro that I didn't watch because it felt a little too FromSoft for its own good. I also just skipped a portion of the chat.
Aww.
But yeah, so this is like I said, it's much newer than the Apple II version of this game or any of the older style ones. I know, I'm very creative, eh? The chat's a little behind on this one, but we're good. Meat leaf. Oh, son of a fallen house of nobles. Oh, that's not a cliche. So I don't remember how to create more adventurers, but we're gonna do more. Yeah, we're gonna do new one. Nope. Fucking. So I have to type and use the controller at the same time. So we're gonna back out of this for a sec. So we're gonna erase. And yeah, not gonna be any tropes. Not gonna be any cliches. Nothing like any of the J-slop we're used to experiencing, right? This fucking sort of your best setup is your front row. You can have up to 6 people in your party. Your front row, you want it to be a bishop and 2 melee. So obviously a fighter or a samurai kind of are the best lineups. And then your back row, you want it to be kind of all the back row ones. So you want a priest, you want a mage, and you want a thief. And that's because like you kind of need especially later on in the game, you kind of need that special ability for everyone if you're going to survive. So take the pork glue, and then because they're the only one that is like a functional thief. And if I remember correctly, oh my god, I have the list here because I don't remember the exact class lineup for it, so I'm gonna look. So the thief has to have 10 agility, 12 luck. So technically we already have that. So so I'll dump some into viability, and then weird that it's not letting me pick a class. Unusual. I also just realized I also still have other music playing in the background. So I'm wondering, like, why does everything sound strange in my headset? Hold on. So what you can also do too is later on you can change. Unsurprisingly, you can change and respec classes and stuff like that as well too. Yeah, exactly. You do got to min-max. We'll use her as a second fighter for now. I'm trying to think of names. I usually see when I play games like this, I go full autist and have like random name generators, but we're gonna have to do that. I doubt there's like a wizardry specific one, you know what I mean? Oh, there is. But it's probably going to be something else. It's probably going to be like wizardry, and it's going to be in like the context of like Harry Potter or some shit. So hold on, I got an idea. We're gonna use a D&D one for fucking shits and gigs and see what happens. I like how there's the option for realistic dwarven names. Like that's something that's like a thing, right? Outside of like Swedish Nordic mythology. Yeah, it's just pulling all the ones that it's suggesting are all Finnish ones, which is stuff like it too. We're gonna do this, so we're gonna roll. I would show it on the other screen, but I'm scared that if like we fucking tab out of this, it's gonna crash the game. Okay, so I'm gonna roll, and we're gonna get a name, and we're gonna get one that doesn't sound vaguely male. Is sort of what we're going with here, because all of them this is giving it's female names. Damn it. There we go. So she's gonna be Rona. There we go. That's what we're going with. Oh, we already have pre-generated ones too. Nice. Alright, so we'll add her. We'll add... So we need a bishop as well too, because the bishop's going to be sort of our... I would do that, but I like to Spurg Max. I'm gonna go with the gnome. There we go. We'll stick with the gnome names because, or the dwarf names, because I feel like if I go if I go gnome names, it's gonna give me some like Warcraft 3 ass gnome name. There we go. She'll be no caps. So we'll keep it nice and simple. All right, cool. So our front row is going to be me and short people. And then our back row is going to be... I moved somebody in there by mistake. So two of the same model, very cool. And we can't use this particular thief because the game gave him an evil alignment. And that's obviously not compatible with our all good alignment so far. All good or all neutral, I'm not sure what the... Yeah, so we have me good. Yeah, you can see the alignment on the side there. So yeah, neutral can party with everyone. Hold on, I got an idea. We'll move the bishop to the back for now, so that way it's a bit more of less of a height disparity. That's what we're going to be going into here. All right. So I think it said we had like 4 gold. So I think we're like, as far as like equipment, we're fucked for now. 8 gold. Oof. Yeah, so we need a lot more gold for that. All right. So we're going to go with this, our basic dog shit equipment for now. And we're going to see what happens, basically. And we're going to first-person RPG our way through this. Big fucking money indeed. Now, I don't think there's a map, if I remember correctly as well, too. Which is, the oldest of the old school mentality is making your own map. Now, there do exist, maps, but we're not gonna worry about that too much. So we're just gonna fight our way through. I also realized that I fucked up the location of people as well too. And so priest heals. We're just going to defend for now. I'm going to hit that back row. Draw it by hand. I don't have a book handy. I didn't come fully prepared for this experience, so. We're gonna fight the kobolds, and then we're just gonna fucking spell the back and then reorganize everything.
Let's go.
And we're just gonna fucking tank our way through this. There we go, we already doubled our gold. So I'm just trying to remember quickly as well too. So I think I'm already lost because I was talking and being a dumbass. Yeah, so this is not the way we came in, obviously. We're already getting like mobbed by shit too, which is hilarious. Like it's Dragon Quest, this is not, you know what I mean? You don't have like, hey, here's one slime. I also fucked up again, so. Now, one thing priests can do is this is their special ability here, which is exercise, which is you can just basically one tap undead enemies. But the only downside to that is we're out of mana on that, so we just gotta block. You don't get to you don't get experience for it if you. Just hit the back row defend for now. Already dead. Already lost somebody because I fucking screwed up the lineup. And that's probably going to be all our gold to bring her back to, even though she's still only level 1 character. Just going to defend. We're just going to have the fucking fighters bail us out of this somehow. And I noticed you can't fucking, Whoop. Yeah, we'll just run, fuck it. Okay, so I'm gonna actually get a piece of paper, and we're gonna fucking draw the map, I think. We're gonna bail for now. Because we've had... Oh, fuck, okay. So that's the way out, or that's the way down a floor. Okay, so what the fuck is, how did we get, where's the entrance, goddammit? Oh yeah, we're cooked there. Okay, hold on. I already fucked up. Okay, try this again. No, I'm not sure. I'm definitely not at all positive with that. Okay, well, move me here. You. Alright. Now we're optimizing. Now I gotta find a way, yes. Okay. So stuff like that, if I remember correctly as well too, is when you have the option to like watch or fight, that's something that you can also like it results in an alignment change. So if you do have like what you could theoretically do is you can pick somebody who has like if you wanted to have a ninja, for example, which is a class that's only open to evil characters. Yeah, I got us like mega lost. Okay. I found... because there's no way it goes this far. I also didn't remember the lack of music in this game as well, too, outside of the combat sequences. It goes on forever. I'm thinking here. Alright, we gotta jump on him at least. Surprised the first floor is as huge as it is. I would be able to draw it. I also don't know where we are right now. We're in the abyss of getting attacked by goblins. Getting gobbed. It's absolutely bodied, buddy, yeah. I don't know if it's more I got bodied by the game or if I got bodied by my like lack of competence. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh no, my self-insert is croaked. Okay, hold on. He gets to fight now. It probably is both, to be fair, you're right. Like, it's definitely, like, I would say, yeah, it's like 50% the difficulty level of the game. Yeah, there's definitely nothing here. Oh, we found a way out. Holy fuck. And by way out, I mean way out of like a abyssal darkness, not abysmal. Holy shit, only 2 enemies? You know what? I bet you it's gonna be fucking... no trap. Oof, empty chest, why not? The good old days. Yeah, he doesn't have any magic, so he's gotta just fucking tank it. So we got a weapon, so I probably have to fucking, yeah, I gotta identify it. Now we can do that by... If I'm not mistaken, unless they're dead. Hold on here. Yeah, we didn't pick up... Or did we pick up a bishop? I don't even know my own fucking classes anymore. Yeah, because they have the appraisal skill, but... Which is why we want to fucking... we wanted the bishop in the first place, but... I let her die because I'm a fucking moron! Yay! Didn't reorder the party correctly. We'll watch him cower again. But anyways, yeah, watching gives you, if you watch 10 times, that basically fully shifts your alignment to good. Or if you fight 10 times, that fully shifts your alignment to evil, which is like a weird way of doing it, in my opinion. But yeah, I figured at this point I might as well kind of like return the title and do it again. Because we definitely shat the bed on that one, for sure. So, oh, no, I didn't want to continue. We're going to delete that save file then. Great new. Stick with Leaf. That's the name of the channel. You know what? We'll keep a neutral alignment. How about that? Because that's good for, yeah. We already know the lore. Give me a sec. I got an idea. We're gonna make a map. We're gonna get a book, and we're gonna kind of like not graph paper it. We're not gonna be that precise, but we're gonna kind of like get a vague idea of like what the map looks like at this point, because I'm getting obliterated here for sure. Now I kind of wish I reinstalled the gacha version of the game as well too, because like worst case could be like, that one at least has 3D visuals, right? So like it's a different sort of jank. It's a different kind of clunky, which is nice. But yes, give us a sec here. I'm gonna we're gonna go into the spooky weight room for a moment here while I hunt down a notebook quickly. All right, we got us a piece of paper this time. A whole notebook, in fact, if you were to describe it as such. So I did also. I'm not that it's gonna help too much, but I am gonna pull up like the actual fucking map, dude. If I can, I'm gonna find an old ASCII fucking game. I found it. Well, I did find it previously. It was in the same guide as the class guide I was looking at earlier, but it's an old remember game FAQs? I feel like that's dating myself when there was like value in like game FAQs when you would just have like a fucking like glorified internet Word document. Those are the better times. Those are the good times when it came to fucking whatchamacallit. Now the only relative piece of information that I'm pulling from the map is that everything is it's a 20 by 20 grid, and we do start. What I guess I kind of didn't realize is we do start. Picture a grid, mind you, square, right? Down here in the very bottom corner, 0, 0. So 0 to 20, 0 to 20, or 0 to 19, I guess. Vertical and horizontally. What basically happened is like I don't even know where they fucking ended up, so I don't know, but there was like a side tunnel I took, and that led us to the next floor from what I remember seeing. So it's like we were close, but then me being a moron and just kind of like spastically running in one direction kind of got us lost. So you know, we're gonna doodle a little bit just so I can sort of get a general idea of where we need to go and where we need to be. And for the most part, I want to kind of like stick in the, if possible, stick to kind of like the first floor for a little while and do that and not get absolutely fucking bodied again, because that would be nice. One thing I did notice about this particular book as well too, and I'm not sure if it matters too much. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in this book. There's notes from light novel writing that I have slacked spectacularly on. But one thing I did notice, which is like a bunch of pages in here, but here's a little snapshot of it. So this was all of these poorly written words. If you can see them, if you can't see them, you're okay. But if you get the general idea of what was a lot of writing here. So at one point, a couple years ago, I was manually tracking all of like the SSR boats in Azur Lane, and like how many duplicates or how many of the resources I would need in order to limit break all of those characters. And then eventually I got tired of like handwriting it, or I would like misplace the book and have to redo it in another book. So there's multiple notepads I have of various sizes and shapes and whatever just scattered around this apartment that somewhere in them have this guide of, or this list of like what I need as far as like shit to limit break characters. And then eventually I gave up and moved it to a fucking Excel sheet, and I had that going for a little while, and now that's a non-issue now because I've transcended the need to worry about limit breaking, because I'm just so good at fucking Azur Lane and getting resources. I've just limit break maxed is really what happened. All right, so we're neutral now, so it means that we can take a thief with us, which is good, I think, because the pre-built one. Oh look, my pre-builds are in here as well too. Sensational. All right, we're gonna take the samurai with us as well too. Again. So I'll put the bishop in the back row, the priest in the back row, and the mage in the back row. Actually, you know what? We're gonna take the bishop out for now. We're gonna keep the thief with us. Not register. Or it's not gonna let us. Hold on, change party. I know, I won't leave too many too many good characters in our party, so it's not gonna work. All right, we're gonna go with the same lineup then. Just this time, it's gonna be ordered correctly. Is gonna be my my coping mechanism, and we're gonna have the map, and it's not gonna matter because I'm gonna get lost again anyway. But like, from what I can tell, is that at least on this in this particular area, assuming I don't just go down a random tunnel again, when we go all the way north, we can go in the dungeon. So I noticed there's a quest option as well too. So let's do the quest boards. $2,000 gold. That's like more money than I'm worth. Okay. All right. So we got a quest this time. We're gonna be smart about it, and we're just not gonna. Well, Etrian Odyssey. Is there a PC version of Etrian Odyssey, or am I gonna have to like pirate it, quote unquote? So we really only have two fucking spells we can use right now for each of them, so we're just gonna melee our way through. But like the benefit of Etrian Odyssey was that it was a DS game, right? So you had like I got knocked unconscious as well too. HD remastered. Alright. I'll investigate because that's still a game that I would consider to be like at least a fittingly similar, like, clunky RPG. Now, one thing I know... We just bumped into the wall. That's hilarious. One thing I know we have to do, too, is... We have to leave the dungeon in order to level up. That's always been a sort of a thing with fucking... this franchise as well, too. So, just farm as much XP as we can. So I got bad news. Is that I was looking at the wrong map. So we're not going after a level 5 enemy right now. So this is the way out. Or not. Holy fuck. Did we lose the way out already? That's not reassuring. Oh, we're gonna face the wall. Figuratively. Unless that message was like something we noticed. Yeah. Turn right. Okay, so that is the exit this time. Okay. So we're just gonna hover. We're gonna hover, we're gonna level up. We're gonna grind and we're gonna yap for the most part is what's gonna happen here. But yes. Alright, now we got some kobolds. So what we can do now is, I don't think we have to use it as a spell, which is nice. Yeah, I just have to use her ability. we need 3 of these dirty daggers is basically what the quest was, right? So we're just gonna farm kobolds for a little while. Indeterminate level? Why not? That one was easy, at least. I never played any of the actual, like, Etrian Odyssey games. Like, it's one of those things that, like, that was one of those franchises that, like, I, never really, like, I was always sort of interested in it, and then, like, I never bought a copy of it, and then, like, when another one came out, kind of like that, like, that's Etrian Odyssey was an Atlas game, right? If I recall correctly, because, and the only reason that's got me thinking as well too is because I feel like another game that at least like visually shares like a lot of similarities with these like old school RPGs was yeah, they're brutal to play. Yeah, I believe that. One game that was like shares the aesthetic was obviously like even the old like Super Famicom ones was fucking like any of the Shin Megami Tensei games. I can't speak for Persona because I never played any of the Persona games, but like pushed out, eh? We're gonna be stupid about this. We're gonna win this fight somehow against enemies that are like 4 levels higher than us. Oh, we're dead. Never mind. If I have a complaint about this so far as like the way the UI is, like one thing that they could probably do, and this is like Game Boy shit, is that like not just have like a text that says like who's attacking you, but like have the enemy flash, have some sort of animation to say that I'm getting damaged, because like I'm like obviously like I should be like eyeballing every stat here, right? Like it's all available in front of me. That's like a we're fucked, I think. Yeah. Yeah, see, like, oh, I got 9 damage, and aside from the like the audio cue, which is like incredibly painful. Okay, good. So I get reincarnated for free. We also can't afford to heal, which is hilarious. Unless we can do it at the temple as well, too. We'll donate. Oh, that's for XP. Okay, good enough. Well, that's a little bit annoying, considering that that's our self-insert that's dying. Arr, hold on. I want to do a bit of research here now that we're talking about it. Give me a second here. We're going to switch back to face mode for a moment here. Nope, that's not the right button. One thing I should redo as well too is one thing I had set up for a little while was I had my keyboard, like the MIDI keyboard, and that fucking I had that triggered so that it would change scenes when I hit different keys and stuff like that. And, I don't know why I stopped doing that. Maybe just for like ease sake, but that was fun. That was a smart thing. That was a big brain move for me because I had to like figure that shit out on my own. I'm like, oh yeah, I can just use this to program this, and then blah 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 blah. Let's go. Oh, there we go. We're just gonna fucking browse Steam for a sec here because I'm curious if they have Etrian Odyssey on. Oh, they do. Now, do I want to pay 53 Canadian dollars for an Etrian Odyssey game? That's the only question. Now, we're not going to do that right now. But that's one of those things where it's just like, how much is this experience worth to me? Because I feel like, obviously not factoring in inflation, not factoring in the fact that these are like older games. You know, obviously they're like the HD remasters and shit like that. That's fucking nice because I assume the Origin Collection's the HD one. So, yeah, buy two, get one free. It's not a bad deal, all things considered. But I could also, and risk breaking my beloved fucking TOS. Or not TOS, what is it called? What's the fucking thing again? My brain's not working today. Whatever, yeah, it is technically terms of service because, like, I would have to emulate them, and that would be piracy. And I'm like, there's, I think, a difference between subtle piracy and blatantly obvious piracy. And blatantly obviously piracy, I can't even fucking talk right now. My brain's cooked. Don't get sick, kids. They'll fucking stream like a moron. But anyways, yeah, blatantly obvious piracy is having like a 3DS emulator open in front of you. So I don't know, but something to consider for future games because that would be kind of cool having like how do they have like the I'm not gonna watch any videos for it, but like do they? So they separate into a different screen and stuff like that as well too. Because yeah, that was like the cool thing about it. Even like Shin Megami Tensei, I think it was Strange Journey was the 3DS one, and I think that's probably like one of my favorite games too. Is Strange Journey. Like that's easily like a top 10 experience for me because I love that fucking game. And I played like a lot of like the main series Shin Megami Tensei stuff, and I would say that's like that properly fits into that franchise. So. I enjoyed it immensely. Yeah, they have the fucking Persona, whatchamacallits too. Fucking gacha game that they came out with it for Persona 5 and stuff like that. Hilarious. Okay, so that's something to consider for the future, but I'd have to buy all three. I'd have to wait for it to kind of go. I'd have to wait for another Steam sale, or I could just steal it, but... you know, when it comes to like purchasing games, I'm at least a little bit honest when it comes to that stuff. So who knows? We'll see. But yeah, for that's something to consider. So that was a bit of a bust, I'd say. But yeah, dollars per hours of enjoyment. That's a good thing to factor in. You're right. Would I get $107 pre-tax of enjoyment out of it? Probably, because I feel like at least they're a little bit like. I would imagine Etrian Odyssey is a little bit more, like, obviously it's, like, a super unforgiving game. Oh, yeah. So, I did some research last night into Project Snowblind before I went to bed. And, you're right, it is 97 cents. However, similar to how our experience with Fear went. I gotta patch the living shit out of that game in order to get it to run. Apparently, it runs better on Proton than it does on Windows, which is insane to think about. That it, like the fucking Linux build will run what is essentially a PS2 game better than Windows. But we are going to be sneaking in a Snowblind next week because I'm convinced now. But I gotta have the time. I need the half hour to an hour of research required to patch the ever loving shit about it because I know it's like one thing I remember, and you can quote me if I'm wrong about this as well too, but Project Snowblind was supposed to be like Deus Ex 3, right? Before Ubisoft bought the franchise, because if I remember correctly, because it was the same guys that did what was the second Deus Ex game again? It was the Human War, or no, something War, and it wasn't particularly great either. Because Human Revolution, Mankind Divided were actually good games, and those ones were the Hidden War or something like that. Hold on, I'm just gonna Google it. But yeah, the Ubisoft ones where you play as fucking Adam Jensen or whatever the fuck his name was. Those games are actually sick. I remember playing the shit out of those. Invisible War, because that one was like, yeah, right, Invisible War. So that one was definitely more of like an action game, and I think that's sort of what like the natural progression they were sort of going with it was like, okay, you had this like really revolutionary role-playing game in the first Deus Ex, and like even today there's like nothing like it as far as I'm concerned, right? Like obviously like it was just like the right place, the right time. It predicted fucking 9/11, which is hilarious to think about. Like 2 years in advance, stuff like that. And then the second one, you're like, okay, it sort of has the spirit of Deus Ex, but it's too much. It's much more of an action game. Like it was sort of like I felt like that it was like definitely more about where like the direction that like Ion Storm is going, and kind of like their experience with I think Thief they also did too, right? Or the guys, yeah, because Ion Storm Austin did the Deadly Shadows Thief game, because they did the original Deus Ex, they did because Deadly Shadows is the first one if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, yeah, it was, it is. Or no, it's not. Oh fuck! I've watched too many retrospectives of Thief content in order to like actually say that, and then in order to like I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Sorry. I watched too many retrospectives on Thief to not know this information. But yeah, it was Thief. The Dark Project was the first one, and Deadly Shadows was kind of suffered from the same thing. No, like the oh, I pulled it up here. There was Dark Project, then there was the one with the robots, Metal Age. So that was the second one. So that was still built on the same. That was still the Dark engine, and that was still like kind of vaguely played like Thief. Then there was Deadly Shadows, which became more of an action game, and it was like really clunky because it like the engine was still sort of built around like the thieving and sneaking and stuff like that, but like the gameplay kind of more warranted an action aspect to it. And then they had the fourth one is that really dog shit fucking remake, the reboot of the franchise that came out, that I briefly played, and then I just was like, no, you know what, I can't do this. Like I remember playing through it, and it's not even because I have even like compared to other franchises and other games and stuff like that, it's not even that I have that much of like a real dedicated adoration for the Thief games. Like I think now that like I've gone back and like watched videos on like kind of the intricacies of the franchise and stuff like that, and like how obviously they kind of tie into the experience that Deus Ex was and stuff like that. It was I think I have a better appreciation for it. And I would definitely like to play those games again. And I know recently, as in like, at least within the last year, maybe year and a half, there was a mod that basically was just like a new Thief game using the Dark engine. And apparently it's really good. And I've heard nothing but like the highest of praise for it. And it was to the point where like the original Thief, like Dark Project, had like these really like it was 100% a project of the 90s. It had like these like weird hand drawn cutscenes, and everything was kind of like, was it industrial? But it was kind of, yeah. The best way I could describe it was sort of like, it was kind of like a new metal fantasy game, which is really weird to say, but it was just like, it still had that aesthetic of like the late 90s kind of like grime that like you would have seen in something like a fucking like a fucking music video, like a Limp Bizkit fucking Boiler music video, you know what I mean? Which is hilarious to think about. Like that's kind of like my mental association with that time frame. But yeah, no, maybe we'll play Thief at some point as well too. Fuck, you know what? That's something to add to the list. But yeah, anyways, because this was a bust, because I'm not good at picking games 99.9% of the time apparently. But yeah, fuck, we're gonna have to I'm gonna figure out Project Snowblind. That's definitely what's gonna happen. So that's gonna be we're gonna get that shit working, and that's gonna be next Friday's experience. So we're gonna do more gacha games on Friday. I'll be a little bit more coherent in order to actually fucking talk and have a idea of what's going on with my reality around me, because I'm not like mind broken from a fever. And today still kind of applies to that as well too, and which is why I'm yapping kind of nonsensically about everything. And then tomorrow is going to be more Stellar Blade. So we'll play Stellar Blade. That'll be a little bit more entertaining, I think, than my grindy playthrough. And then I have a couple other things kind of for the next couple months. I got some Gooner Chinese action slop that I actually just remembered I owned, looking on the screen here. So we're going to play a bit of that. It's going to be fun. Like I said as well too, it'll be at the end of the month, next month. But there is content coming. There is going to be a real YouTube video at some point. So again, I keep talking about this. Again, schedule for next week and the week after. Next week is only going to be 2 days. It's going to be Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday. Saturday's a bust. And then the weekend before Labor Day, that's going to be the last week of where we have like a Thursday. Maybe for now, I might still do Thursdays. I might not. I don't know. Just to shit out some content. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're going to be doing. So we'll have that. It'll be fun. It'll be kind of gay. It'll be kind of cringe. It'll be really autistic. But that's just sort of how we do things on this channel here too. But maybe we'll put Thief into that as well too, because I feel like that's a game that I would greatly enjoy, and it would be not boring for you to watch me suck at it, if that makes sense. Because Thief's like one of those games that like I forget the term for it, but it's like whatever they call these like open games now and stuff like that, where it's like you kind of have like the freedom to play, like obviously like Thief, Deus Ex, which obviously more of a role playing game in that sense, but things like System Shock were like that. The Truth Thief sequels and Dishonored were like that as well too, right? So those sorts of games. So, but the Thief is, I think, is like really immersive sim. Thank you. Yeah, because it's more of an immersive sim. I think it's like it's less punishing to watch me suffer, I guess, as opposed to like a old school like really this was a zero frills game experience. Like I said, like the gacha one visually has a lot more going on for it as far as a wizardry game goes. So that one has limited frills. This one is like zero frills, absolutely no frills. No frills, no fun. Fun for me maybe, because I'll probably end up playing it again now that I've gotten the itch again to play like an insanely boomer-esque fucking role-playing game. But we'll end this here. Like I said, I yapped enough about fucking what we got going on next week, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30, and we'll have a bit more of a longer experience with Stellar Blade. Now that we got past the opening area, and then we're in the free roam portion of it, so we'll kill some enemies. We'll do some side quests. We'll do the random horror-esque shooting segment of the game. which is a lot of fun. There's 2 of those for the people who haven't played Stellar Blade in my audience, which is 1 person right now, but it's going to be fun to watch anyway, and that's still a game I could be bad at in comparison to a lot of other people too, so you never know. But we'll goon, we'll have a good time, it'll be fun, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. So